PlanitEasy. Thank you all for joining us today for this webinar. Today I will explain to you what you can do in PlanitEasy. And as you can see on the screen right now, our main focus is to give you as many tools in one platform to run your business most efficiently. I'm going to jump right into the platform and give you an overview of what we have. We have the main components. When you get in is the dashboard. And on the dashboard, we give you a bird's eye view of what you have in your platform. To give you a little navigation on the side here, first you have your trips. So that's your trip database that shows you all the trips you have in your platform. Then we have a CRM, and that's to manage your profiles. And in the profiles, you can manage individual profiles, so individual client profiles, as well as institutional profiles, and also suppliers. And I'll show you that next, just to show you exactly how that's organized. Then we have a general booking section. So this is where you can view all your bookings by booking types. So for example, you can pull up all your flights and search across that. For example, Miami, and you can see all flights coming in and out of Miami. Then we have an accounting section. This is trip accounting, so not a replacement for your company accounting, but specifically trip accounting. So client invoices, payments received on those invoices, as well as tracking commissions. Then we have a library. This is what a lot of our users are spending the current challenging time where things are a little slow, spending this time to really build out your library of content. So when things start to pick back up, you can generate your proposals and itineraries much more swiftly once you have all this content in there. And I'll show you a little more about that content you can create there. And then lastly, we have forms. These are forms that you can share with your client by using an email link, and they can fill out that information. Specifically on those forms, we have trip request forms, travelers information forms, and then you can build your own categories of forms. For example, I've set one up here for cruise forms. The idea is they fill out the data, and that data automatically syncs into your platform, so you don't have to enter that information yourself. So these are the main sections of the platform. And again, the idea is that you can organize most of the things that you use for planning a trip in one place. A quick background on myself. I used to be a CEO of a tour operator based in New York City, and we focus mostly on academic travel for education institutions and museums. And really, when we were growing that business, our team, our backend, our operations team, really had a challenging time getting all the work done. So what we did is we started to build out a platform that could get most of these things into one place. So instead of juggling multiple different platforms and copy pasting, we put them into one platform. And again, the dashboard here is giving an overview of this information. So first, we give you a bird's eye view of your total sales for the year, total confirmed bookings. You can put in sales goals. You can put in a sales goal for the company, and you can put in a profit goal for the company as well. And then you can see your expected profit for the year and profit to date. And this will break it down by 3 types of ways of revenues and profits, which is fees, markups, and commissions. So you can track all these 3 types of revenues. Then you show your trips, different statuses, upcoming, on the road, and return. You can also build out itineraries without dates, fill in dates later. Your profiles. So again, individual profiles, institutional profiles, and suppliers. And then we have important dates. So far for clients, we show upcoming birthdays, passport expiration dates, and here you can set up automatic messages that get sent out. Lastly, we have bookings. So this is giving you an overview of deadlines coming up. So for clients, you would have cancellation dates and payment dates, as deposits and final payment dates, and then also company deadlines. So if you have any net rates, you can track those deadlines. The platform is built both for managing FITs and also for group travel. Next up, I'll jump to profiles to save a little time. I have my tab open here. For the profiles, we have the individual profiles and institutional profiles, and then you can create your own categories if you so like, and bundle together clients into a certain category. To set up a profile, I'll show you one that's already filled out. We have really the general information that you need in a CRM for travel specifically. So this is where we track their date of birth, internal notes, contact information, address. We have multiple address options if people live in multiple places, citizenship, passport information, trusted traveler numbers. We have a database of different types of trusted traveler numbers around the world. Visa information, contact info, tags. This is a great feature in terms of being able to use this for email marketing, for example, or so really it's segmenting your travelers into certain keywords. So let's say you have clients that have expressed interest in going to Paris. Now you have a new partner and you're doing a new offer for Paris. You simply type in Paris into your CRM, and you can then export all those clients that have that tag. You can export it as a CSV file and upload it into an email marketing platform like MailChimp, for example. Travel companions, so relationships between people, special occasions, special conditions, allergies, other types of requirements, a custom section, so it allows you to give it a title, add in content, billing information, loyalty programs. We have a live database of all the loyalty programs that are out there for air, hotel, credit cards, etc. Preferences is to build out more information, for example, marketing information, etc. We do work with some consortia where we are connecting with their marketing programs. So you can put in different interests they may have, type of travel, what's important to them. And then of course, the most important parts is their preferences for different types of services. How do they fly? Commercial, window, business, or econ plus, special requests, etc. So you can build this out quite extensively. And then lastly, you can upload any documents. Primarily, that would be a copy of a passport or a credit card, for example. Our servers we use Amazon Web Services, and we have extensive security in place. So your client's data is very secure. We're also GDPR compliant if you still have clients in Europe as well. So that's showing you the individual profiles. Institutional profiles is similar. However, institutional information, you could put in different departments and contact people in those departments. Then you can also build out your supplier profiles. I'll start with, just to show you briefly, accommodation. We are connected to multiple different databases, the main one being Google. So let's say that I type in hotel, it will pop up and it will fetch the data that we get from Google, which is address, email, website, and 10 images. These images, you can, of course, delete them or upload your own as you so please. And then you can also build out anything custom on this. So if you want to put in a more unique description that you provide to your clients as opposed to a generic one, you can do that, and it will pull that in once you build out your itinerary. And then lastly, internal. This is setting up your team. Currently, you can set up employees. In a few months, we're launching an IC solution as well, so that you can also track independent contractors and provide a specific solution for ICs. But that's another conversation. So that's your profiles. And then next is the trip database. Jump to the next tab. Of all the different of these general pages, you'll see this big red button. And that is to set up a new trip. And again, you can either set up an FIT or a group trip. You set it up and you fill out the information to set up this trip. The only required field is the trip name. Everything else is it's not mandatory. You can set it up as you want, depending on what information you may have on hand. And if you put in your dates, for example, and the places, this actually sets up the framework for your itinerary later on. So this can be a quick way to get started. So I'll just go through this quickly because of time constraints, but really you can fill out as much of the core information that you need when you're taking that request from the client. Let's say it's on the phone, and really set up that trip. But again, I mentioned quickly before that if you do create a trip request form, if they submit that request on the form, then that request will show up in this tab, and you can click one button and it will set up the entire trip in your database just by you clicking one button. That's a very quick way to get started on building a trip. Once the trip is set up, it will appear here on this page, and you can use these different filters up here to really give you be able to give you a proper overview of your trips, sort them by start date, end date, or types of trips. You can use this search, which searches all your trips for keywords. So it's very quick to find the information that you need and narrow in on really finding those details that you need to find. Then the next step is to move in and go to the trip planner for one trip specifically. You click this button, and I have it open here. So I created a simple trip here, a trip to Miami, and I've already put some information in here, so you can see how it looks when it's already set up. First up, the trip information. This is where you go in and edit any of that core information. So really the dates, the places, the description that goes in the proposal, etc. So that's where you edit that. Then you can track the phase of this trip. So is this a new request? Is it a proposal, confirmed, paid, or complete? These are, however, customizable. So if you follow a different workflow that you prefer, you can customize these in the My Account section over here. One thing one challenge that we've had through the years is trying to build a system that works for many different types of travel companies, because you all do different types of work and put your own spin on it. Of course, some do groups, some do FITs, etc. So what we put a lot of effort in is giving you the ability to customize a lot of the platform in the account settings. So that's just something to be aware of, that there is quite a bit of flexibility within the platform itself. Okay, so let's dive in. Next step, you'll put in some clients. You simply type in the name, client shows up, name shows up, and you can select them and add them in here. Now that they've been added here, then you can start to put in some bookings. We have a booking section. The day 1, day 2, and the dates will automatically be set up for you once you put them into the trip. So it's easy to have an overview of all the days. And then you can use these placeholders to remind yourself, these are the services I need for each day for this trip. Once you save that, it adds these placeholders, and therefore helping you not to forget to book certain types of services. Here I put in, just to start it out, a hotel, put in the Setai. This is how I would add it in. There's the booking form. Here's the hotel that automatically pops up. Once I type it in here, put check in, check out, I can put a description in, build up my room list, put in my deadlines, payment, etc. And we have the images that are pulled in. I can also upload any vouchers or confirmation PDFs or other files, and they're available for the client in that proposal as well. One very key thing that you can do in PlanitEasy is not only are you building your itinerary when you're doing this, but you're also setting up your operations. So you can put in your pricing, you can track your commissions. Here I can put in my pricing. If it's a net rate, I can select that. I can put in my markup, or in this case, it's commissionable. I can track in, I can put in my commission 10%, and I can also set in when is my expected payment date for that commission. We automate it by 1 month after the end of the service. but you can manually go in and check this. And this is how we also calculate your expected profits for a month, for a year, etc. And again here, you can upload any vouchers or PDFs for this booking. A key thing is when you're creating this booking, you can click this button down at the bottom, it says add to library, and that automatically adds this booking to the library, and you can then easily use it later on. So this is how you can start to add bookings in. If you then want to build out the itinerary further, which gives more description, so titles for days, description here, you use this page. So this is more of a drag and drop function. This will be more similar, if you use this function, more similar to Travelify, for example. We're one of the great itinerary builders out there. And you can just take these services and drag them over, populate them, and that way build out your itinerary. You can put in images for the day description here. And you can also import bookings in using email parsing. So if you have an email that's been forwarded to you from a supplier, you can copy this email, forward that email to this email address, and all the details of that booking will automatically be populated into the trip. Next question would be, how does the proposal look when you've actually set this up? So now we will navigate to the client itinerary. So proposal and client itinerary, you can use it for both things. So here will be set up. All the details, of course, this would be your company logo. This would be your planner information here. Then all the details here are automatically added for the information that you put in. We have a mobile app, iOS and Android, coming out in a month and a half. It looks beautiful, similar to this, but of course more vibrant since it's on the phone. So we have all the details that are added in here for each booking. And then a really cool feature is you can very easily adjust itineraries. So let's say that they do not want this hotel. I can simply just go down and turn it off. And when I do that, it gets removed from the itinerary. This makes it very quick to make adjustments to your client's itineraries, really increasing your speed of being responsive. So that's the itinerary, the proposal. This is how it looks when your client gets it. That's cleaner because it doesn't have all the editing tools. And they can also download a PDF, which is automatically generated. So now I've shown you adding your travelers in, building out your daily itinerary, adding in the bookings, being able to track for your back office, track the status of your bookings. You can see it's also showing me the price and the profit. In the sidebar here, I can open this up and it will show me an overview of all the bookings and everything, all the costs and profits for this trip. And then we have a few tools to just further improve the planning process, checklists. So these are things that need to get done. You can assign them to people on the team. This is how you can assign whoever should be on the team that will be working on this trip together. And then lastly, once the client has approved this proposal, you would do accounting. And it's very simple. Create a client invoice. The invoice, since it is integrated with the planner, will automatically pull in the items, and you can then manually adjust anything in here. So there will be no mistakes on the invoices since it's integrated with the planner tools as well. And then lastly, again, you can upload any general documents like vouchers, etc., and that will be added on the invoice, on the proposal for the client as well. So this is really the flow of building a trip from beginning to end on this one page. Then the last thing that I'll show you is these general sections over here, and just show you the accounting section. So in the accounting section, we have three components: invoices, the client invoices, and it will show you how much has been paid, how much is unpaid, and the total amount that's been invoiced. payments, we show you the payments that have been made on that. And then also you can track all the commissions that you're doing. And then lastly, we have the library. And this is the content that you can build out. So you can put up all your hotels, the bookings that you've done with hotels, so you can easily customize them later on, as well as all these other types of services. In addition to that, we have some alerts. This gives you certain updates of certain things, like upcoming deadlines, etc. And then also an activities tab, so you can see what you've done, or if you're a team, you can see what everyone has done on specific pages at any given time. Again, just giving more transparency into the planning process. Desktop is subscriptions. So we have 3 types of subscriptions. We have a starter, basic, and advanced. Starter is really just allows you to get started and test it out. Does not include the itinerary builder. To know it's an important functionality for many people. So really, the basic and advanced, the main difference is the accounting functionalities. So the advanced has invoicing, tracking commissions, etc., where the basic does not. So that's the main difference. Right now, because of the current situation, we're offering a special discount for the next 12 months to help people through this time, and that's a 50% discount on any of these subscriptions. If you do sign up for a semi-annual, so for 6 months at a time, it's an additional 5% discount. If you do sign up for 12 months, then you get an additional 10%. So really, you get almost 60% off this price for the next 12 months, and that's a special that we're running at this stage right now. So yeah, that is the beginning to end overview of PlanitEasy. So yeah, I'll open it up for any Q&A. Thanks, Doug.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. Great presentation. It's obviously a very robust platform, and I know in that 20 minutes you've only been able to kind of graze the surface of its capabilities, just to let people know that you will be doing future webinars, which I'm sure you'll be kind of going more in depth in some of the different functionality of the platform. We do have some questions here, so let's jump into those. Let's see. Okay, the first question is the program resident on the agent's computer, or is it via up in the cloud via internet?
It is in the cloud. So we're based on Amazon Web Services, so everything is in the cloud.
Okay, great. And then assumingly any concerns about security of data, that's not a concern?
That's correct. Again, we use Amazon Web Service, and then we have put extensive additional security measures on top of the platform as well.
Okay, great. All right, somebody was just clarifying the discount that you had offered. Said it's 50% off the $60 per month, and then I guess for a longer term, there's an additional 5 or 10% off of that. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great. All right. Do you provide direct booking capability in the platform like it was a GDS?
So that's a good question. We don't do that right now. However, we just acquired another company that has an extensive booking engine, which includes many different suppliers, including Vax, but also Amadeus, and it will have Sabre as well. That's something that we will be adding to the platform next year.
All right, great.
I wanted to mention one thing,
sure,
just in terms of support. So if anyone is using the platform or signs up for a free trial, we offer a 10-day free trial where you can sign up, play with the platform, and try all the features. And then you can use this chat to send us any messages or any questions or feedback along the way. And you can also go to the side here and pick a time here if you want to do a personal demo, which is, I always encourage that, just because it allows us to dig a little deeper, allows us to understand each individual's challenges and business model. And it kind of just helps us explain a little better how we can potentially solve problems together.
Excellent. All right, we have some more questions here. Excuse me. Some more questions regarding the rates and discounts. The first was if they go with the 12-month program, is there a discounted rate at the renewal time? Or what would that renewal rate be, I guess, is the question.
Yeah, so it depends on how long that renewal be. So if you do sign up for a year, if you do the annual, well, then you pay for the entire year. If you buy month to month now, you will get that reduced rate for the next 12 months.
Great.
So even though you're paying month to month, you will get that discounted rate for the next 12 months.
Sure, understood. And then in order to get that discount, is there a special code that people would need to use?
Yes, there's a special code that you need to use, and it's easy as pie, PIE, like PlanitEasy. So easy as pie.
All right, that's great. Can you pay? Somebody's asking about the capabilities of the back end of the software. Can you pay monthly bills or do payroll with the software?
No.
Okay.
We do not cover that now.
Okay, great. Is it possible to merge vacation packages from tour operators into the system?
Great question. Not yet. However, it is on our roadmap. It is something that we'll be adding in. And the first suppliers, we're going to work with FunJet and Apple Vacations, and then we'll move down the line in terms of priorities of what our users want. So that is currently not in there. It is something that will be added over time.
Okay, well, ALG is a great company to get started with. Okay. Is it possible to merge data from PlanetEasy into Sabre or their respective GDS?
So we currently are working with a few host agencies and connecting to trams. So if your host agency, or if you are a host agency and you have your trams account, yes, we can integrate with your trams account, and we can pull anything that goes into trams. We can pull it into our system. So that's the short answer.
Yep.
The longer answer with regards to creating PNRs and merging, let's say, client data into a PNR, that's going to be part of that solution that we'll launch next year, which includes direct booking capability, where you will also be able to merge data to PNR into your GDS from our platform, in addition to actually book GDS content in PlanetEasy graphical view in the platform as well. But that's not until 2021.
All right, gotcha. Is it possible to upload logos and agency information into the system, and how cumbersome is that?
Yes. So logo, I don't know what additional information they mean, but everything is white labeled, so, and branded to you. So it's really your logo. And soon we'll be adjusting also your hex color code so that you can choose that itinerary, buttons, etc. reflect your brand color.
Okay. For the contracts, are they done on a calendar year, or are they done from when you sign up? So if they signed up now, is it good through September, or is it a January to January calendar year?
So it's well, month to month is if you sign up on the first, well, let's use another date. If you sign up on the 9th of this month, if it's month to month, it goes until the 8th of next month, and then restarts on the 9th of next month. If it's an annual, it would be the date minus 1 day next year.
Got it. Okay, great. All right, and how long are you offering that discount for?
At this stage right now, we're offering it through September 15th, but we may very well keep it through the end of September.
Okay, great. Question about marketing with the platform. Is there a feature where you can email everyone in a group that might be traveling together?
Not at this stage, no.
Okay.
We have the next upcoming feature, which will be released in almost exactly 1 month from now, is a messaging functionality that will be added onto the platform. And yes, that will include all messaging directly from the platform, in addition to merging, syncing or connecting with your email client, so your Outlook or your Gmail.
Sure. Okay. And is it possible to export client data from the program?
Yes.
Okay.
Export an Excel file.
Great. Perfect.
CSV file. Yeah.
Great.
And the information, one thing is very important, all the information that you put in is yours. So should you stop to use the platform, you give us 30 days, and within those 30 days, we'll provide you with files of all your client data and your trip data on that file as well. So you can take it wherever you need to go.
All right. Fair enough. Can Consolidator bookings be merged into the platform? Consolidator air bookings.
So if the format is accepted by the system we use for forwarding email confirmations, if that is acceptable, then yes, I would have to know which wholesaler that is.
Right. Okay.
But most of them are quite. We have a list about 650 suppliers that we support, and includes all big airlines, Expedia, and all those. I know wholesalers is different, but I really would have to know which one exactly they're referring to.
Sure. Okay. With the basic platform, would agents have access to see the agency overall sales?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Great. Is it possible to merge travel insurance information into a record or into an itinerary?
No. Travel insurance is not part of that technology.
Okay. Somebody's asking if they can get a copy of the webinar. Yes, we are recording it, and it will be available on jacksfax.com under Advisor Tools. And we'll also be sending a follow-up email with a link to that recording, as well as the winner of the $50 Amazon card. So just so you know that. All right, what else do we have here? Are forms signable by a traveler, such as a credit card authorization form?
That's yes.
Okay, great. Okay, and you mentioned the list of 600 some odd suppliers. Is that available on your website?
It is not, but I can email it. We should probably put it up. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Great. Let me see what else we have here. You had mentioned you have something coming down the line to work with independent contractors. Do you have any tools currently to help manage teams and ICs, or is that something you're working on?
Yeah, so we do have the system allows you to manage your own employees to extensively. So if you hire, let's say, someone part-time, you can go in and decide exactly what they can access in the platform. So let's say you don't want them to access client information, you can limit that. What we're doing on the IC side is adding on to that so that you can hire a IC, and they can have their own CRM, they can have their own trip database where they cannot see other ICs information,
Okay.
as well as vice versa. So that's something that we're adding to the platform soon. So that's kind of the main distinction. Right now, we have a lot of tools for teams to work together and collaborate together. We'll extend that further to ICs as well.
All right, great. Is it possible for advisors to collect client payments through the system?
Yes. So we use a company called Stripe, STRIPE, like a zebra stripe, and we use them to handle transactions that can be done directly on the invoice. And Stripe also has a solution where you can sign up and apply to Stripe yourself, which will lower the fees from 3.4% to 2.9% or 3%. And then you get paid much quicker than if it goes through us. So that's just that there's those two options, just so you know. That's
okay.
An important distinction.
Got it. Is the subscription per agency or per agent? And if you have multiple agents using it, is there an additional cost per agent?
So our prices are based per user. So if you have more than 10, really then we move into an enterprise solution. And depending on the contract term, so if it's longer than 1 year, if it's less, or if it's 3 years, or even up, we have some that go all the way up to 5 years, then we adjust pricing on that. So really, it's more of a custom pricing if you so have more than 10.
Okay. Another question about the platform. Since it resides in the cloud, who owns the data? Assumingly, it's the agency that owns the data.
Exactly. As I mentioned earlier, if you stop to use the platform and you want the data, we will give you a file with your information. So you own that information. It's proprietary to you.
Okay, fantastic. Chris, it looks like that's all the questions our advisors had for you today.
Great.
So I guess that is going to wrap up today's training session. Thank you, Chris, for the great presentation, and thank you, travel advisors, for joining us. As I mentioned, Chris will be doing future sessions, so please stay on the lookout for that. And with that, we'll wrap up. I hope everybody has a great day. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Take care.